So in the last lecture, we have seen SR latch and with the NOR gate and with the NAND gate, right? So there was two major problem that we have seen in your SR latch. The first problem that we have seen, there is no control at that moment, no control on changing the output, changing the Q value. So as soon as your S and R value will change, Q will also change. So might be it will change. Suppose you have n number of units. So for one unit it will change in some other time. For other units it will change some other time. So there is no synchronization in the circuit. Right. That was one major problem. And second major problem in case of NAND gate, SR latch, there was one input that was 0 0. Right. In that 0 0 input we found, and in case of NOR gate, service there was 1 1 input. So in the both the cases there was, it is said as undefined condition or unused, or sometimes it is also known as not permitted condition, right? So these two major problems we have seen in the last lecture. Now today we'll focus on first problem, how to control the circuit, right? So that whenever, or you can say how to control the entire circuit, how to synchronize the entire circuit with the help of some external input. So we have seen one external input that can be clock. We have taken example of our class itself, like we have a time in hand so that we are able to attend the class or we are able to participate in the class, because there is a synchronization in the picture, right? Similarly, when we talk about SR latch, there was no synchronization if you have n number of SR latches. So we required external input that will control the circuit, right? Now in this particular clock, we have four major parts as we discussed. First major part is the rising edge. Second major part is the falling edge. Third major part is the level high, and fourth major part is the level low. Right. So we have gone through these four things. This is your rising edge, and this is your falling edge. Right. So these are the four major component in a clock cycle. Then again it will repeat again, like continuously, right? So now let's see what modification we can do in the system, in the circuit, so that it will controlled by a clock, right? So let's look into the modifications. Previously we have this much architecture only, but in order to introduce the clock we have added two more NAND gates. And these two NAND gates controlled by a clock, or you can say one input of this NAND gate is clock input and another input was S and R, which are previously here. So we have take it out and we are taking S and R input are here, right? Now let's look how exactly it behave, how we can control the circuit, right? So whenever your clock value is 0, so let's say your clock value is 0. So let me make a NAND table quickly so that you can easily figure out. So if you have A and B and you have out, so 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So this will be 1 1 1 0. Right, this is your NAND table. Got it? So we have A and B 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, and you have out of 1 1 1 and 0 in case of NAND. Now let's take one example here. So let me take the clock value is 0, right? Now once your clock value is 0, if you take S value and R value, okay, before that let me take the truth table of this part that we already seen in the previous lecture, right? Let me take truth table of this. So let me write it here. So if I will say this is your input 1, this is your input 2. So input 1, input 2, then Q and Q bar value. So once it was 0 0, it was undefined, right? When it was 1 1, it was act as a memory. Memory means if q and q bar is 0 1, so it will remain 0 1. If it was 1 0, it will remain 1 0. When you have 0 1, right, this will become 0, this will become 1, then what will happen to the q and q bar? Able to recall? If this will become 0, this will become 1. Yes, what will be the value of q and q bar? Anyone able to recall? Okay, if we are not able to recall, let's put the value and find out. So let's say I'm putting value 0 and 1. I'm just talking about this part only, that box part, right? So this will go here 0, this will go here 1, 1 and 0. What you will get? You will get 1, right? And here you will get 0 and 1. Again, you will get 1. This 1 will feed here, 1 will feed here. So 1 and 1, you will get 0, and 0 and 1, you will get 1. So ultimately, you will stop here with 1 and 0. So if it is 0, 1, you will get 1 and 0. Similarly, if you say you have 1, 0, you will get 0 and 1, right? So based on this, let's look into the entire circuit. So let me erase remaining part. So okay, so when c equal to 0, let me say we can take value of 0 and 1. Let's say taking value of 0 and 1. Now let me check what will be the output here. What do you think? What will be the output here? 0 0, you will get 1, and 0 and 1, you will get 1. So irrespective of what, even if you take 1 0, then also value will 1 1. Even if you take 0 0, then also value will be 1 1. Even if you take 1 1, then also value will remain here 1 1 only. And we already seen this part of the circuit. If it is 1 1, how exactly it will behave? It will behave like a memory, right? So what exactly it is saying, if your clock is 0, that is indicating here, irrespective of whatever value of x, s and r, it will be no change. No change means you can say it is act as a memory state. Whatever the previous value, that will continue. Got it? Any doubt, guys, till this part? Anyone? Guys, any doubt till this part?
No, sir.
Okay. Now let me take the clock value high, right? So let me take here, instead of 1, let me take clock value is high. So I'm saying now clock is high. Now let's look into this value, because this value will not modify because you already set the inputs. So 0 and 1, you will get 1. 1 and 1, you will get 0. So it means we have value 1 and 0 in hand. If you have 1 and 0, what will be the value of q and q bar? It will be 0 and 1. Got it? Any doubt in this part? Guys, any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Right. So the same thing we have seen here. If your value is 0 and 1, S and R, and clock is high, then Q will be 0. So you can say this is your reset condition. Now let's check if value is 1 0. So instead of 0 and 1, let me check the value. Okay, let me modify this. This will also modify. Let me check the value of 1 and 0. Once it is 1 0, so 1 1, it will become 0, and 1 0, it will become 1. So means the value of this portion is, like, input will be 0 and 1. We already seen when we have value 0 and 1, what output you will get? Here you will get 1, Here you will get 0. Got it? So now if your value is 1 0 and clock is 1, it will reach to the set state when q equal to 1 and q bar equal to 0. Now if you have clock is high and S and R both are 1 1, S and R both are 1 1. In that case, this will become 0 and this will also become 0. Once we have 0 0, you can say it is undefined state or indeterminate state, right? Which is not, you can say, valid state. So we have seen this already. So ultimately, if you look into this entire diagram, what change we have made, we add this 2 NAND gate. Now, by adding this 2 NAND gate, the one input of this NAND gate is clock and the input of this second NAND gate is S and R value. By adding these 2 NAND gates, now we are able to control the entire circuit with the clock. What exactly mean of control? When your clock is high, then only your S and R value will able to make any impact on Q and Q bar. If your clock is low, this clock value is low, then irrespective of whatever is the, so you can say when your clock is low, irrespective of whatever is the value of S and R, it will not make any impact. Your Q and Q bar value will remain same, or you can say no change. Got it? Any doubt, guys? Guys, any doubt till this point?
No, sir.
Cool. So now once you add the clock in the SR latch, or you can say SR latch with control input, that is known as SR flip-flop. So means in the latch, we do not have any control, that is the clock control. But if you are adding a control with the by addition of 2 NAND gate, then it is known as SR flip-flop, right? So you can say when your clock is 0, it will not change the state. It means the output will not change or Q and Q bar will not change. Whenever your clock is 1, then only your Q and Q bar will have any change based on the input of S and R. Got it? Now, one more thing. Suppose, so this is overall SR flip-flop, right? Now, in this entire circuit, I just want to make this circuit as storage unit, right? I don't want reset. I don't want any set. I just want to make as a storage. So what do you think what we can do if you want to make as a storage?
Sir, C is equals to 0.
That's fine. That's fine. What should be the S and R? Can we control S and R value so that it will give as a storage only that do not have any set and reset?
0 0.
So I'm saying I'm talking about this and this state only. What do you think? Is there any way?
Sir, S and R can be same.
Or I'm saying I just want to remove so I want to say I just want to remove these two conditions. This one that is act as a memory state. So instead of okay, sorry, just give me a minute. I'm highlighting wrong place. I don't want this. What I want to keep. Let me change the color as well. So what I want. Oh. Okay, fine. So what I want to keep this state. I want to keep this state and this state. Why I want to keep this state? Because I want to act as a memory state, because that system will act as a memory state. Second, whenever I want to modify the value of memory, I have these two control or these two values so that it will modify the value. So when I want to set Q equal to 0, then you just make s equal to 0, and when you want q equal to 1, then you make s equal to 1. But that control you have, because when you want to modify, just make clock high, then your s value will replicate on the q value, right? If it is set equal to 0, q equal to 0. If you're set equal to high, then q equal to high, then your clock is high. It means if we do not have this state, and if you do not have this state as well, means then you do not have any problem in the circuit. Like no change we can control. So if you have these two no change, means two states are memory state here. I want to keep only one memory state, and this is to control in the sense, suppose you have a state that is act as a memory state, but sometimes you want to store 0, sometimes you want to store 1. So you should have mechanism to store 0 and 1. So you can say second part, this part is the mechanism to modify the value of q, and this part is the mechanism to act as a storage unit. Got it? So let's move, then we'll understand. So here you can say you can use this one. So here we are focusing on these three things. So you can say if you have s and r is 0 0 and clock is 1, then it will act as a storage, right? This unit I'm not worried, because store we have another mechanism, with that we can store when your clock is 0. Now this disallow state, why will keep this disallow state? Just throw it out. I don't want this as well. Like now, in order to modify the value, I have two options. Whenever we want q equal to 0, I will keep r equal to 0. Whenever we want q equal to 1, I will keep r equal to 1. This we want. So ultimately, what I want from the circuit, let me take clock here, q and q bar. So you can say circuit is 0, irrespective of r and s, it will act as a q and q bar, so it will be store. When clock is high, if s is 0 1, then this will also 0 1. So you can say your reset state, right? When your clock is high, I want 1 0, then here also 1 0. This will be set state. I want to make a circuit by modifying this current circuit so that it will have only these conditions, nothing more. What we can do? Can we modify this s and r in such a way so that we have only these three options available? The rest will gone. Can we do some modification? So here, let me give you more clue. Here we have xx, means we are not worried about this value. So we are worried about only these two. Is there any relation in this box? Can we figure out some relation here?
Sir,
Between
S
s
is
and r.
not of or.
S is not of or vice versa, r is not of s. So means if you connect s and r with the same input, but one is connected with directly and another is with the NOT gate, then we will come up with this table. Got it? Here s and r value, irrespective of either s value is 0 1 or 1 0, it will act as a storage. So with this concept, they have made another flip-flop, that is the D flip-flop. What they have done, they added a value D, so you can say this is D. So S value will D will directly go, and with the NOT it will go here. Now what will happen? Once this NOT will go here, now do we have this condition in this moment in this circuit? No, because ultimately S will be 0, then R will be 1, and S will be 1, R will be 0. It is not possible that both will have same value. So 0 0 will not be there, 1 1 will not be there. So this will not be there, and this will not be there. So we have remaining with these only these values. So now in this circuit, this will act as a pure memory unit. Right? How exactly it will work? Once you have clock 0, it will act as a memory cell. If you stored Q value is 0, it will remain 0 till your clock is 0. If you stored Q equal to 1, it will remain 1 till your clock equal to 0. So you can say when clock equal to 0, it will act as a memory unit. Now, in that particular memory cell, suppose you have this memory cell, right? And you have input D and you have input a clock, right? So you can see we have input a clock, you have input D. Here we have two outputs, Q and Q bar. Now, I want to modify this Q value. So like the work of current cell is gone. Now I want to update the value. So changing it to the 0 to 1. So then what you will do? You will simply change the value of D equal to 1 and make the clock high. Once you make the clock high, what will happen to Q? The value of D will replicate to the Q. So whatever the value of D, it will goes to the Q. So if you can say D value means whatever the S value. So let me make a separate table for D flip-flop. I think I already have somewhere. Okay. So let me erase this so that we are able to see the table. Okay. So you can say in this moment, instead of S and R, we have one input that is D, one input that is clock, and you have Q and Q bar. So once your D is 0, clock is high, Q value will modify to the 0. If your D is 1, clock is high, your Q value will modify to the 1. Right? Now, if your C equal to 0, irrespective of D is either 0 or 1, it will remain same. So whatever the previous value of Q and Q bar, that will remain same. So that's why we can say it's a Q0 and Q bar, Q0 bar. Whatever the value of previous, that will remain same. Any doubt till this point, anyone?
No, sir.
Guys, any doubt till this point? So now we start with the SR latch, where you have only this much part. Then we found this latch have two problems. One is the control. We do not have any control. And second problem, we have a state that is disallow state, or you can say forbidden state, or you can say unwanted state, whatever name you want. Then if we want to use this as a only memory cell, then what we have done, we added S input with a not of, and we added to the R. So it will act as a memory cell. Along with that, to give the control, we have added a clock over there, right? But this is all about the memory cell. But that is not true that only we have memory. We have many other sequential circuit. Let's say counter, which is not only storing the value, it's just the counting value. So let's work further and see how exactly we can utilize this SR flip-flop to do some more task, right? So in short, this is the summary of your D flip-flop. Input is D, pass to the output when C is high. That is very important. When C is low, it will not take care of, or it will not take the value of D, it will completely ignore when C is low. So whatever the Q and Q bar value, that will remain same. So you can say this is your truth table of D flip-flop. Got it? Any doubt, guys? Anyone? Guys, any doubt till this point?
No, sir.
Cool. So this is all about D flip-flop. Now let's look into the Verilog code. So might be few of have lab today and they have gone through this structure, but many of you maybe not lab. This is a new variety of Verilog code where you have seen this is the new term, always. So now this is a procedural block. Now we jump to the procedural coding, right? So this procedural coding, we have a always block, always at the rate and inputs. This input is nothing, they are known as sensitivity list. So what exactly meaning of sensitivity list? Whenever your value of any variable in this list, either D or clock will modify. Modify means if your value will change 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, any of them, either D or clock, then this part of the code will be executed. That's the way how you can define the sensitivity list. Means either D will modify, then your code will execute, or your clock will modify, then also your code will execute this part of the code. So this is the sensitivity list here, right? Now with the sensitivity list, we have to passes the D and clock and check if clock is high. So if your clock is 1, then only this part of the code will execute. That's why it is begin and end block. So this part of the code will execute whenever your clock is high, right? So once you say your clock is high, your Q value will be modified and you'll get the D value, and your Q bar will be D bar. And this is the way how we have seen the D flip-flop. So ultimately we are able to implement this D flip-flop with this module. So what is always block? Always will run whenever you have any change in this list. Either D will modify or clock will modify, then this block will execute. Now inside this block we have written if clock and we have begin and end. So here in case of if statement, so here you have written clock. So instead of curly bracket we have a tag that is begin and end tag that is used to define the body of the your condition or loop. So begin and end. So you have written begin, D will go to the Q and D bar will go to the Q bar. Any doubt in this simple Verilog code? Anyone? Any doubt?
See, Q less than equals to D का क्या मतलब
This
हुआ?
is not less than. Actually, this is not less than. This is assignment. The value of Q will transfer to the D. This is not a condition if less than or equal to. No. This is the transferring value. D value will go to the Q. This is the way how in Verilog is defined. It is saying value of D will go to the Q. This is not less than equal to. Got it?
सर assign का use नहीं कर सकते?
This is the way how in the Verilog is defined. Whenever you want to transfer the value of Q means one value to another, then we are using this syntax.
सही है, assign से अलग है या फिर same है दोनों?
No, no, this is not act as a assign. Assign will go to the behavioral structure. Here we are just transferring the value.
Okay, sir.
Assign is not required. This is the procedural block. Assign will come when we have a parallel block or behavioral structure where we are giving the equations. Here we are talking about the values.
Okay, sir.
Got it? Anyone, any doubt, guys? Okay. So now if you look into the representation, this will represent like this. S and R flip-flop like this, S and R bar flip-flop. So means you can say this is using NAND, this is using NOR gate if it is a latch, right? And this is your D flip-flop, simply, right? So SR latch based on NOR gate, S bar R bar based on NAND gate, and D latch based on either. You can utilize any one of them, right? Now here you can see there is no input of clock. So this is the symbol of latches where we do not have clock. So slowly we will see the symbol of flip-flop as well where we have clock into the picture. Guys, any doubt till this point? Okay. Now I'm drawing another circuit. So just into this circuit. I'm taking one NAND gate here. I'm taking another NAND gate here. Right. This is both the NAND gate controlled by a clock. Here we have S. Here we have R. Right. We already seen this. Then this will go to the another NAND gate. This will go to the another NAND gate. right? Now this will feed here, this will feed here. On the top of it, what we are saying, I will take this input, taking it here and feed it here. Now I'm taking this input, taking it here and feed it here. Q and Q bar. Now you'll say why it is there? What is the purpose behind that? Right? So before jumping into the purpose, let's first go through it, then purpose will automatically comes into the picture. So let me take this as a box. We already seen this latch, right? And let me write the truth table for this. So let me say this is your I1, this is your I2, so that it will be easy for you to refer, and your Q and Q bar value. So when it is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. So in case of 1, 1, it will act as a memory cell. So it will act as a memory cell. So you can say, you can represent this Q0 and Q bar 0. Whenever we have values 1 and 0, I'm just talking about this small box, that is the latch, NAND based latch, right? So when it is 1, 0, it will be 0, 1. When it is 0, 1, it will be 1, 0. When it is 0, 0, it is not defined. Got it? So now let's look into the circuit. What exactly happened? Right. So first, let me start with the 1, 1. Right. This is also NAND gate. This is also NAND gate. So when this NAND will have output 0, in which condition we have output is 0?
C equals to 1.
C equal to 1, S equal to 1 and Q equal to 1, right? Sorry, Q bar equal to 1. Because Q is also input here. So you can say, let me draw 3 input NAND gate. If you have 1, 1, 1, then only you will get 0. Rest all the cases you will get 1. Clear? Any doubt? Rest all the cases you will get 1. Okay. Now let me take the input. Let me start with the 1, 1. 1 and 1. And I'm not talking about the C equal to 0, because when C equal to 0, what will happen? You'll get value 1 and 1, and then it will act as the memory state. So I'm not talking about C equal to 0. Let me say fix C equal to 1. Because say whenever C equal to 0, irrespective of whatever the rest inputs, it will give always 1 and 1 here, right? And then if it is 1 and 1, this latch will act as the memory state, right? Now if you give S equal to 1, R equal to 1 and C equal to 1, right? And let me take this Q equal to 1 and Q bar equal to 0. Now what will happen? So this will be, let's say this will be 0, this will be 1. What will be the input here in this position? Here and here. 0, 1, 1. What you will get?
1.
1. What about here?
0.
0. Then you have 1, 0. Now once you have 1, 0, right? Then what will be the final value here if you have 1, 0? Yes,
0.
Q equal to
सब 1 आनी चाहिए.
1
Sir,
or
1.
0? 1.
1.
What about this?
1.
So 1.
Sir, 1.
Are you sure? Just check out this table. Don't need to worry. Just check out this table.
Yes, sir. 1.
If it is 1 0,
Oh.
if you have 1 0, the input is 1, this is 0, then what will happen?
सर 1 आएगा सर क्यू बार क्यू बार तो 1 ही आएगा
Q bar 1 आएगा, right? What about this Q? Check out here, 1 0, 0 and 1. So here we have input 1 and 0. Then what will be the value in this position? 1 and 0. So what will be the value? 0 and 1. Got it?
यस सर
So here it will become 0, it will become 1. Any doubt? Once you want to operate on this circuit, right? So let me draw this in this form. So then you can look into this circuit in this way. Have a black box. And here you have output. This output. Attach here. This output is attached here. You have a S and R, and you have a clock. S, R, clock. Now this box is represented by this table. Do not need to run it with the NAND gate. Don't need to worry. Just look into this table because we already gone through the explanation of this latch with this table. So just look into this table and find the value. Right? Got it? Any doubt, guys, till this point? How it is changing to 0, 1?
नो सर
Right? Now this 0, 1 will feed back. So then this will become 1 and this will become 0. Now what will happen here? This will become 1, 1, 1. So what value you will get? 0. And this will become 1, 1, 0. What value you will get? 1.
1.
Right? So now what about this? 0 and 1. It will again modify 0 and 1. So it
Q
will again
will be
modify.
1.
Q will be 1, Q bar will be 0.
Yes sir.
Again we reach to the same position. We again feed back. So what next value will get? 0, 1.
0 1.
Right? Now
Yes.
let me go through you in this circuit where we talked about, yeah, this one. When we have value S and R 1, 1, then what is that state? Indeterminate state. Now this current circuit, when your S and R value is 1, 1, can we see some behavior here? Previously it was not predictable. Now you are able to see the behavior. What is the behavior here? What is the behavior? Are you able to check it out? Is your output value is changing 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 0? Even we have not
Yes, sir.
modified S value and R value and clock value. That is remain same. But your output value is changing because your Q and Q bar is changing. Got it?
Yes sir.
So now what we have done, the previously, when in case of SR flip-flop, when your value is 1, 1, in that case we are saying indeterminate state. Right? But now in this, with this feedback, with the extra feedback, once your value is 1, 1, we are saying it is changing 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 0. Means now it is not indeterminate state, but they are changing continuously. You can see it is toggling, changing 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, and so on continuously. Got it? So
Yes sir.
you can say now it is not indeterminate state. It is a you can say somehow we can use it whenever we require the toggle. If you require a toggle as an output, if it is 0, it will convert to the 1. If it is 1, it will convert to the 0. Then we can utilize this stage. Got it? So now with this additional feedback, means we have modified indeterminate stage to the toggling stage. But there is one challenge, right? So the challenge here is, do we have any control on this toggle? How many times this will toggle? Suppose if your clock, so let me say, I think you got my point. Let me say, if your clock is like this, I'm drawing a clock diagram. Right? And the size of this clock, you can say, this is, let's say, 10 nanosecond. Right? So this is your clock. And the propagation delay means to operate this circuit and this circuit, or you can say these 4 gates, total time is 1 nanosecond to come from this value to this value. Now in between this 10 nanosecond, if you make the bar, how many times this Q value is modifying 0 to 1 and 1 to 0? How many times it will modify if the total time to operate is 1 nanosecond? Yes. So I'm saying if your clock is high for 10 nanosecond, and in order to operate this circuit, means from input to output, it's 1 nanosecond, and in 1 nanosecond it is changing value 0 to 1. Then again in another nanosecond it will change 1 to 0. So how many times your Q value will modify in this duration?
So 10 times.
10 times, like it will be continuously modifying, right? And in the circuit, it is very hard to say the exact amount of time of propagation delay. Exact means there is very hard to say it will only 1 nanosecond. It might be possible because of temperature, because of some many other external factors. It will be 1.1 nanosecond or it will be 1.2 nanosecond, right? So this is possible in the electronic circuit. So it means, can we say at the end of this clock here, what will be the value of Q? Either it will be 1 or 0. This is very hard to say, right? This is only possible when we can say if your propagation delay is 1 nanosecond, then your clock size will be lesser than 1 nanosecond. Then you are able to control. Then you can say what is the value of Q value, or what will be the final Q value. If it was 0, it will be 1. If it was 1, it will be 0. Because in that duration, your clock will be changing, right? So you can say then your clock should be very small. So this particular condition to change 1 and 0 without any control. So when your circuit is changing without control, then this particular condition is known as racing condition. So this change, uncontrolled change, is known as the racing, right? So we try to solve, like instead of indeterminate state, now we are reaching to the state where the values are determinate, and we can identify, okay, if input was 0, it will be 1, or if input was like initially start with 1, it will be 0. So we do not have any control in this moment, but at least we have some value. Instead of saying nothing, we have some value. Let's look into how to control it. So the controlling of this racing condition we'll discuss in the next lecture, how to control it and make it useful so that we can say it's a toggle. If your value, once your clock will be high or a particular condition, then it will change the value 0 to 1. So means we'll try to impose more control on this structure, right? Any doubt till this point? What is racing condition? Is it clear to everyone what is racing?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So then in the next class, we'll talk about how to control this racing and make it useful for us, right? So we'll discuss this further into the next class. Okay, any doubt guys, anyone?